Right. Thanks a lot for that, Mitesh. By the way, markets moving up and a few stocks as well have jumped up in trade. So let's discuss a few of them. Sudip Bandopadhyay joins us. Hi, Sudip. With the big deal that was announced overnight, Adani as well as NDTV. But, it seems there's a bit of a rub-off on the sector. Maybe it's just for a couple of days or so. But Sun TV, we know for a long while there's plenty of value out there. Cash in books, they have their IPL team as well, core business valued at very low multiples. Would you look into any of these names from the media space, few listed stocks that we have?
Good afternoon, Nigel. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we have been looking at both Sun as well as Z. For different reasons. Sun, of course, because of the valuation was looking attractive. And, you're absolutely right, the IPL team sitting inside, which also has appreciated in value significantly since the time they acquired it. And Z we were looking at because of predominantly the merger and professionalization of the management. I think that was one big factor as far as Z was concerned. So both these stocks has been under our watch. Sun we have been actively recommending a buy up to a point in time, and even now I think it does look attractive. As far as the transaction which has been announced, I think there are multiple levers and multiple the factors which has probably led to this transaction, and it's too early to comment and also comment on the valuation. As a standalone news channel, I think the value at which today NDTV is getting traded, or even the offer price, I think it's evaluation which is at a significant premium to probably what it should be valued at, assuming you look at the standalone news business. We all know the revenue, out of the total advertisement revenue, about 10% is what is going to the news channels. And with that kind of a mix, the kind of valuation which NDTV is today is looking a bit stretched. So I definitely will not recommend anybody to get into NDTV or start buying NDTV thinking of this acquisition or what may or may not happen. But as far as the other stocks are concerned, yes, there is definitely value for an investor in Sun and even in Z.
Okay, that's a point taken. For now, though, I mean, there is, as Nigel pointed out, a bit of a rub-off effect showing up in other pure news media, sort of television news companies as well. All cargo is up about 6% or so. We had the management with us, I think, yesterday, and it's at about what 321 or so. It's a large logistics player, and of course there are names like Tejas, etc., which have been jumping from the for quite a while now. What else is doing well? ABB is up 7%. Varun Beverages has picked up gains. It was up 5.5% when we started. It's up 7.5% now. RCF is up 8%. Greaves Cotton has been buzzing from the morning. It's up 7% now. So, I mean, enough and more broader markets. And of course, I mean, Nigel's paper companies, right? I mean, West Coast Paper, there's
a price increase from September 1st. So that's one reason. Other factors that in Europe, a lot of these plants are shutting down. So hope is there'll be some scarcity. But as we all know, it's a commoditized, business. You have to be careful on that front as well. And select companies, Prashant, they have their tailwinds. SSI Paper, for example, I was going through their BSE release. They have some inventory that was stuck up in the first quarter that could be sold in the second quarter. So that's why quarter two will optically look good. Orient Paper, well, they have a boiler that's going to come on stream. That will save costs, ramp up production as well. JK Paper, the mix has changed out there. More amount of board papers. I think I'll stop.
I mean, and there, you don't realize, but there are a lot of these companies which are listed, small companies in the paper space, which are actually listed, and they're all up, I mean, 7, 10, 12%, depending on what you want to look at. There's a lot happening in that space, as Nigel highlighted. But again, I mean, I think I know the answer to this one, Sudip, but would you want to look at any of these names, or just too cyclical and too hard to time? Any thoughts?
Well, Prashant, I think we missed one stock, which is also a big player in the paper industry. That's ITC Limited. They have a very robust paper and paperboards business inside that, and that also has been doing very well. I mean, I think the entire industry has been doing exceedingly well for the last 6-8 months. multiple factors. Nigel was pointing out to some of these challenges in the global supply chain, and of course, increase in local demand post the schools and colleges reopening and things like that. I would rather leave these standalone paper companies because they have already moved up quite a bit. Probably it will be a better bet to kind of get into ITC. Yes, it has moved up quite a bit after a long time, and probably the real value of ITC will only show when there is demerger, eventual demerger, which everybody has been talking about for a very long time. But even at current valuation, looking at the way the businesses are performing, there is merit in acquiring, and that is, of course, as we all know, is lowest valued FMCG behemoth we have.
Okay, ITC. So, I mean, you get a lot of other stuff along with paper. And that maybe is the reason why, I mean, most definitely that is the big reason why the stock has done well, not the paper as such. We'll, Sudip, stay with us. We'll take a very quick break here. We are going to come back. We'll play